Hello and welcome to Bay of Fundy Fortunes. My name is Natalie. I am an empath and an intuitive card reader as well. What you just see me doing was a sweetgrass and sage smudge. It's an indigenous custom in North America, used by the indigenous peoples. It is very highly sacred to them. The sweetgrass grows on my property here wild, just about at the end of the season, so I'm going to run out of supply real soon. Anyways, I'm here to do a reading this evening for the sign of Leo the Lion, for the monthly reading for October 2016, and I am 5 days behind, and I do apologize for that. There was a reason why I had to abandon my readings for a little bit. Anyway, I'm back at her again, trying to do the best that I can. I know some of you have been waiting, and thank you for your patience. I do appreciate it. For those of you that are new to the channel, if you'd like to subscribe, subscription button is found below this video window. All subscriptions are free on YouTube. For those of you that are new, if you subscribe to my channel, Bay of Fundy Fortunes, every time I post any new videos, you'll be alerted via your email notifications. That way you will not miss anything. I do a 5-card spread, usually using the Oceanic Tarot deck. Get a little tongue-tied here at this time of night. What time are we? We are 11:31. Anyway, this is the Oceanic Tarot deck, and I made a mistake earlier. This is by Jane Wallace. It's written by her, and the illustrations are by Jane Delaford Taylor. I pull 5 cards from that 78-card deck. For those of you new to tarot, there are 78 cards in each deck. And in that spread, the 5 cards, your first card is your overall energy, your second card is your health, your wealth and finance. Your third card is anything close to your heart that you love. Your fourth card are your challenges for the month. Your fifth card is your message from spirit. And the last card that I pull is from Deck of Tarot. It's a significator or instigator, whichever comes up. That comes from Tarot. And that is written by Bridget Reed and illustrations by Colin Howard. So we give credit for that. Thank you for everybody for all your views, for being here this evening with me, for your likes and your shares, and any comments you'd like to leave below in this box as well, below the video window. Please feel free. Just to state as well very quickly, this is a general reading. It may or may not apply to you or resonate with you on a personal level. If you find you enjoyed the reading, you'd like to have something personalized, I do offer that service. Information for that is also found down below in the description box. Please read through once, make your choices, and send me off an email, and then we take it from there. I do not do live readings. If I did, I'd be charging 3 times the price like the rest of them do. I don't do them. Long story why, I just don't. What you get is a video like this. It's about an hour long, and you give me your pertinent information. I connect that to spirit and to the cards, and then you get your reading. When it's finished, I give you the link. It takes you into a privatized YouTube window that is only meant for you, and only you can see. You get to view the video over and over again as often as you wish. Okay, so why don't we get right into the reading here. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I hope not. All right, so the first card that I pulled for you this evening, Leo, for October 2016, was the 7 of Cups, and the card represents possibility. All right. So when this card appears, Leo, many choices are becoming available to you now, and you do have a few facts available to you as well to go along with those choices. Do not fall for fantasy. Make sure you check your facts from your fiction. It will save you time and money in the end. Here's the problem, though. The card is warning you that you have a bit of a twisted. I'm sorry, I'm back in talk words tonight, and I don't know why. They say you're closest to the subconscious when that happens. I hope so. But at this time, the card is stating that you have no sense at this moment of what is real and what is imagination. And your imagination can run away with you. The advice of this card is to not rush into things, to wait and see what manifests. For some of you, you cannot make any decisions or choices, and you will have your hands bound in a manner of speaking, or the free will in a manner of speaking will be held back and restricted, because you can't make a choice right now, and you really can't see what is real and what is fantasy. And your instincts tell you not to even make a move until you're sure of what is what. The card suggests for you to sit back to see what manifests before you make any moves. You'll still have some wiggle room in there to make your choices and anything like that. The key words for this card are fantasy, confusion, choices, dreams, imagination, visions, and passions. And this is your overall energy of this reading. The second card that was pulled for you is the Three of Pentacles, and it's about recognition, falling into your finances, your wealth, anything to do with money, anything at all to do with money. For some of you right now, the card is saying that you will be recognized for something that you've done along the lines of a project or a job. You will receive a bonus. You will receive a raise in pay, and you might just get that corner office with the view of the city that you've been wanting. For some of you, this is going to come true. Remember, this is a general reading. Some of you right now may be looking to sell your home, and now's the time to spiff things up and put things in order. Whenever this card comes up, and this does show up in the reading about the moving and selling your house, as any good real estate agent would tell you, you need to prepare your home and make it welcoming to strangers that come through the door to view your home. Remove all your personal family photographs, remove your personal hobbies, your collections, anything that shows any resemblance to the family that is now living there. On a personal level, take it out and box it up and put it in a room somewhere. You want the house to be clean and airy, like people feel they can breathe when they come in. If your home is a cozy home, that's probably a little bit of information that they knew before going into it, and they already know that it's going to be small. But make sure that it's clean, and make sure that the air is clean. Open your doors and windows before viewing, and let the air come into the house. If you're going to put up any scents, don't make anything overpowering or sharp. That kind of gets people right here between the eyes. That makes people suspicious. It's a turn off for number one. Number two, they think you're trying to cover up some kind of a smell. So go very, very light on the sense as well. Make it so that people see your furniture, of course, when they walk in, but they can visualize themselves living in the space. That's what you're aiming for. So keep that in mind, that they all want to make this house their own. Keep that in mind. If you you take pride in your work right now, and any efforts you put in right now into pretty much anything, Leo, will be a long-lasting effort. That goes for relationships as well. But this card has found the place of wealth. Sometimes wealth doesn't always come in as money, but usually in this placement, that's what it refers to. I've seen it refer to wealth in other ways, just wealth in general in your life. Do you feel like your life is wealthy or rich? Do you have what it takes, that to make you happy and make you feel content? Content is such a soft word. To say it and to see it in print or writing, content. But you know what? What it means is as vast as this world in a very good way. Contentment's a wonderful thing. We all as human beings want to feel content. The way a baby, when you watch it sleeping after it's been freshly bathed and changed, nice dry diaper and nice snugglies on, and you lay it down to sleep, and it smells sweet, and it feels so soft, and it sleeps with contentment. We search from that from the day we're born. We never stop searching for that. For such a small, unassuming, it's not even a fun word to say. It's just a kind of bland word. It sure does mean a lot. And life, it's kind of a metaphor for life, but we all look for contentment. The advice of this card is also saying at this time for some of you Leos, you need to be proud of your work and show off your work. More successes in the cards for you. So the key words are stability, finance, protection, balance, order, and foundations. Some of you are putting in, I just have a nudge to say for some of you, you're putting in, you're digging your heels into where you stand metaphorically. You don't want any changes. You like the way things are. Some of you are going to have some changes imposed upon you. They will be better for you in the long run. Some of you Leos aren't going to be so quick to jump at this change, and you're going to want to keep the same old, same old. But there are going to be forces there that are going to force you to move along. Excuse me. It is 11:40 and it's tea time in my household. Huh. I just need, it's cozy. It feels cozy. We have a beautiful evening here in Chance Harbor. Not in getting off subject or interrupting. I'm just having a little tea here. Just trying to warm my hands up. We have a lovely evening. Stars are all out. There's no moon. Well, yeah, there's no moon. Or new moon. I didn't check the phases. I'm sorry for those of you that are into that. Anyway, the third card that I pulled for you. Anything to do with your love, your heart, your romances. That means romantic relationships or family. I pulled the Two of Pentacles, and this is about options. It's all about options. All right. Keywords for this card, Leo, are choices in property and finances, choices in balance, choices in judgment, choices in contracts, and in the details. Some of you are absolutely, to go back to this card, are selling a home. This one here is telling you to go after. When you get the contract, to go through the contract with a fine-tooth comb and to look for things that are wrong before you sign your name on that dotted line, making everything legal. If you're feeling in your mind as you're going through the contracts, if you find anything and you think, what if? Yeah, but what if? Yeah, but what? Stop right there, because that's a red flag. You shouldn't have any what ifs. Okay, you should be very clear and concise on both sides, their side and your side of the contract, with no guessing games involved at all. Straighten those things out while you catch them before you sign your name. So pay attention to the details. Look for long-term benefits, making any decisions right now rather than short-term gain. Look at the bigger picture, Leo. Everything is about the bigger picture. We can do the instant gratification and self-pacify with wonderful vibrations and good things going on. That's all good and everything, but stop and don't lose your head and don't get overexcited. And yeah, do the what if thing in that case. Down the road, what if in the bigger picture this comes back at me? What if in the bigger picture this isn't what I want? It's what I want right now. Is this what I'm going to want? Am I ready to let something go? Am I ready to say goodbye to property or peoples or relationships or jobs? Am I ready to just completely let that go and have it no longer be mine? I feel nudged to tell some of you, some of the breaks that you go to take and you break away from, they're going to be permanent. What you own now and what is all about you now, and those changes and those decisions are not going to be yours anymore. Once they're gone, you can't get them back. If you sell your house, you could be 20 years waiting to get it back, and then it's not going to be the home or the house that you thought it was. So just things like this. Same with a job. You wouldn't step backwards in time and go back to an old job. If you were already gone for 2 or 3 years and it moved ahead, you wouldn't do that. But you'll reminisce about the times back then. That old job, things were easier, life was simpler. You will yearn for that, but don't ever think about going back. That wouldn't make any common sense at all. Yes, a decision is underway. Absolutely. You'll mull out your options. You'll mull over your options. Of all possible outcomes right now, this is the smartest thing you can do right now, Leo. This will regard your jobs, travel for study, potential for a new home. Personal finances can become drained right now if you're not careful. You may have to juggle to make the books balance at the end of the month. Okay, so Leo's been known, some of them are flashy. Leos like to have money. Leos like to buy stuff. Leos like to enjoy themselves. And Leos usually, to their own personal level, but a lot of times to the world, what happens with the Leo is they have very expensive taste. They have an exotic eye for the different, the strange, the unusual. Um, they can, they can unbalance the books. They'll make up for it later. I got a nudge to tell you, don't worry too much about that. Even if your books aren't balanced and your checkbook is a little more to the right than to the left column, you'll find a way to fit it together. You'll find a way to make up for the shortfall. I feel to tell for some of you. That's a good thing. The next card that I pulled for you in your challenges for the month of October, Leo the Lion, is the Hanged Man, and it represents limbo. Limbo. Kind of hanging around just like this guy is. That's not all bad. You take a good look at him, you'd think he'd be in distress, this mermaid, this merman. You would think he'd be in distress. But if you look at the body language, you see the rays of sun coming down. Whenever there's rays of sun coming down, there's hope coming from the heavens above. There's still hope. So you look at his body language, he's hanging there. And his hands are open. They're not clenched. His muscles are not clenched in his back. There's no struggle going on. He's just kind of like hanging out. And the first note you get off this card is to say, just kind of sit back and see what happens. Let's see what the universe has in store. If they have any say in what's coming up in your challenges, you want to just fold your hands behind your head, put your feet back, and it's safe to do that just to see what's going to unfold before you need to see what it is that you need to deal with. These are things that are forefront and center in your life right now. Not every little thing going on in the run of your day. These are aspects, certain aspects. As you can see where he kind of just like hangs there in balance. There's a balance in his body, and he exudes some kind of a peace as well around him. He's very comfortable in this position at the moment, and the rays of light are a sign of insight and also protection from the universe. There's no forward movement. He's kind of stuck in limbo, but you may be waiting for just a decision to be made or to feel that some things are on hold. These, Leo, would be things out of your control, is what they would be. So that's for some of you. Some of you are in limbo and can't move until maybe others come forward to make a decision, right? You're kind of at the mercy of others in a way. You are kind of at the mercy of others. You have no say. So you say, I'm just going to get comfortable here until a decision is made or somebody makes a move. Some of you, the lack of control can make you frustrated and may force you into making a compromise rather than hanging around and waiting. Be very careful if you do that, and make sure that you're not making choices at an emotional level. Emotional choices will not be good for Leo. Leos usually are pretty decisive and pretty smart. I wouldn't be too worried about any of that. There may be one or two of you that may get a little excited, but just try to stay calm and think about things rather than rushing into things. The keywords for this card are waiting, time, frustration, sacrifice, insight, purpose, and viewpoints. I just got a nudge on that. Finding other ways that you may gain valuable insights, viewpoints. Viewpoints for some of you are what's going to be holding things up and leaving you in limbo. Some people are probably getting a little bit carried away, getting their viewpoints across. And in the meantime, there you are, being held up. Almost to the point of you're starting to feel almost like a victim in a way. Excuse me. Okay, so the next card, the last card, your message from Spirit, Leo. Page of Pentacles. It's about opportunity. Pages usually represent messages or somebody bringing messages along, sometimes from the universe, most times from a real person. And opportunity. This is your message from Spirit. This card brings good news. So any messages coming at you, some of you will be waiting on some news to come in. You're actually aware of it, and you're waiting for news to come your way on certain things that are forefront and center in your life right now. For some, it's finance. For some, it's work, education. This guy brings you hope, and usually a wish is granted when he shows up as well. This will be pending job offers or selling a property for some of you. Some of you will be moving. That's come up again. This will happen very soon. Please pay close attention to all paperwork. That's the second time that has come up. This is being reinforced. You're selling something and you're buying something, and you have to be very, very careful about the contracts to make sure there's no what ifs in there. Or what is this? I didn't agree. Look for things wrong in a contract so that the contract will work right and correctly for you. The advice of this card is to look for offers in property and in work. There is a change on the horizon for those of you that want it. Again, check your contracts with a sharp eye. These things are coming at you quite fast, Leo, so be very, very careful. All good changes. Just don't take it for granted that everything is as it should be. There could just be general, honest mistakes within contracts and agreements. Make sure you catch those mistakes. Keywords for this card are money, messages, work, luck, communications, confidence, and optimism. It's a good time for communications right now. Don't let yourself be held up at the mercy of somebody else, though, as the other card stated. So that's your challenges for the month. I just meant to say that on the previous card is to, you're hanging in limbo. It's kind of an imposed position, and you're waiting on the grace of other people to make their choices and their decisions or whatever it is that they have to make. Those are your challenges, is to have patience and know when to move. All right. So the last card that I got for you in the deck of tarot, what I pulled for you, and it's in reverse. It's the Tower. The Tower. And it is in reverse, Leo. Oh, put it this way. Upright. All right. So, let me get my book. Hold on. The Tower. Thought I had marked it. Yes, I can. Okay. Okay, so when it comes up in reverse, as it did in your reading, Leo, the reverse symbolizes destroyed ambition and boredom. And nudges right there. Feeling the heat here. One moment. I get to close this book up. This card comes back. That is destroyed ambitions for those of you that cannot patiently wait for what is coming. I have a hunch for there's somebody out there that's going to have a problem controlling their temper, and because things aren't moving fast enough or moving the way they like, they're going to have a bit of a temper over it. Leos don't have tempers. Yeah. Oh, who would say such a thing? Hey, I know some Leos, and I'd say just about every one of them has a temper. You can get frustrated real quick at the snap of a finger. You think everything's fine, and it's not fine at all. That's what you have to watch out for, Leo. Bite thy tongue. Bite thy bottom lip. For some of you, if you don't give a little bit more patience, and you're going to be thinking, this is ridiculous, I've given more than enough, and I shouldn't have to give another inch, not 1 inch. Give it another inch, and you could end up saying down the road, oh my, oh wow, am I ever glad that oh boy, I was so close, it was almost scary. I'm glad I bit my tongue. I'm glad I waited. Leo, this is an interesting reading, I think. Quite interesting, really. You guys just have to watch what you're doing. Some of you are held up by others, and I feel the frustration of the waiting that's going on. That you're waiting for something. It's other people. What's making you wait is other people. It's waiting for other people to flip and move so you can do your thing. And whatever it is some of you are involved in, you cannot make anybody do anything. So you're like that hanged man. You might as well get comfortable just like he was and just kind of wait to see what manifests and see what comes out. You're at the mercy of other people. A lot of things in life put us at the mercy of other people, waiting for decisions to be made. For some of you, waiting for answers to come back. You can't even, for some of you, begin to contemplate which way you're going to move until you have this definitive answer from somebody, and that will give you the arrow in which direction to go in. I feel that very strongly. I feel the heat from that meaning from the card. Hanging loose. Don't be your own worst enemy, Leo, and you guys can do that. You really are, because you're a force to be reckoned with. You demand a lot of respect and you get it. You're not used to being held up like this, and you're very frustrated. It'll come in time. You just need to chill out a little bit. There's the advice from the card and my nudges as well, that you just need to chill out a little bit. So Leo, there was your reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for stopping by and catching a few minutes with me here on Bay of Fundy Fortunes, and for tuning in for your reading. We'll be back. I'm already five days into October. I'm real sorry about that. Couldn't be helped. But I'm just trying to decide next. It'll probably be the end of next week when I start the mid-monthlies. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you've subscribed so you don't miss the mid-monthlies for Leo the Lion, October 2016. For now, I'm going to sign off for the night and get this uploaded so you guys can enjoy the reading. I hope you liked the reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was worth your while. Anyways, I wish you the best of luck in October and hope to see you back here for the mid-monthlies. Until then, I'll just see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Goodbye.